Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope all of you are doing better. Okay, so I hope you are taking healthy food to fight against certain kind of uh, diseases and all. Okay, and increasing your immunity. Okay, I just wanted to suggest you to prefer to what we call vegetarian diet than non-vegetarian diet. Okay, vegetarian diet, it was proven scientifically that vegetarian diet will increase your immune system, as well as it will increase as well as develop your metabolism also. Okay, so take vegetarian diet daily perfectly. Okay, which includes lot many nuts. Okay, so that will help you to fight against any kind of diseases which we are seeing nowadays. Okay, so I hope, as I said, nuts are included in your diet. Okay, so let us go into your topic for today. The topic for today is a very important topic, a very special topic, the most demanded topic, which I am going to explain to you, all of you. Okay, the topic is, can you expect? Yes, the topic is the concept of oxidation numbers. By seeing the thumbnail, I think you are aware. Okay, right. Oxidation numbers. The concept of what? Oxidation numbers. Okay, so what is oxidation number? A very important concept, dear children. Okay, so valency, how well it is important. In the same way, oxidation number concept is very much important, and this concept of oxidation number has to be made into 3 videos or 2 videos, depends on the way I explain. Okay, so it's a very important concept. Based on this concept, oxidation number rules and all, you will be understanding the redox reactions also. Okay, most of the topics are interrelated based on the concept of oxidation numbers. So if you are perfect with identifying of oxidation numbers of elements, then you can understand the structures carefully. You can understand that the bonds that are existed between them are based on the oxidation numbers, or in other words, the oxidation numbers of each and every element is based on the bonds that are being present in between the elements also. Okay, so there are so many oxidation number rules are there. First, if we are aware of all those rules, then we can understand easily whatever be the biggest concept of chemistry. Okay, can be understood very easily and very nicely also. So I request all of you to kindly keep these rules in your mind. Okay, and applying the rules is very much important. Okay, for ions, how to identify what we call oxidation numbers. Okay, for elements, for metals, for what we call the central atom present in a compound, like that you will be asked questions in different ways. Okay, there is a lot of scope in asking so many questions from the concept of oxidation numbers. Okay, this is a basic concept which every child has to know and every child has to understand carefully. And in most of my experience, most of the children will not by heart the rules of oxidation number, and they will feel lot much difficulty in applying the concept when they are learning redox reactions. Okay, so redox reactions, if you have to understand carefully, you have to know the oxidation numbers and oxidation number rules very carefully. You have to by heart. Okay, and applying the rule, okay, for each and every numerical part. Okay, so you have to be very careful with that. Okay, I'll try to give you the maximum extent from different reference books also. Okay, so you can utilize my videos, and those who are watching my videos, please share the videos to your friends, so that you will also be benefited and I will also be benefited. Not only sharing, dear children, ask them to subscribe to my channel. Okay, so based on your subscriptions only, I'll start uploading the videos. Okay, after this I'll start giving videos only once or twice in a week. Okay, I'm just giving videos only because keeping children in mind. Okay, but I'm not getting much views. Okay, but that pinches me a lot, even though lot much hard work is being done by teachers. Okay, the views are very less. Of course, the situations are also like that only, but I don't know, most of the children are listening to online classes but not utilizing the time properly. Okay, they're just sitting before in front of the camera or in front of the cell phone. Okay, and most of the parents I'm seeing nowadays, they are buying new cell phones and new laptops to their children also. Okay, even such facilities are being provided to children. I find the zero knowledge children are there. They are not just keeping their mind, okay, onto the subject knowledge. Okay, out of 100 children, I find only hardly around 15 to 20 children are just taking care of their studies. Okay, and 15 to 20 parents. Okay, that means only 5% of parents, even parents, are also worried about their child's study also. Okay, so please utilize your opportunities, utilize your time properly. Okay, take the help of my videos. Okay, share my videos. I request all of you to kindly subscribe to my channel. I want new subscribers every day. Okay, so with how much energy teachers are working for the sake of students, with the same energy, I expect comments from you. I expect good suggestions from you. Okay, so if you are not responding, I just for the sake of one or two children, I'll upload one or two videos once in a week or once in 15 days. Okay, it's not for the sake of my good name or fame. I'm not uploading the videos. Okay, of course, whatever the knowledge which I have, if I share the knowledge to all of you, my knowledge also will be doubled. I know that. Okay, and it is not because that I'll become so famous by uploading videos in YouTube. It's not that also. Okay, just to share the knowledge to most of my students. Okay, that was my main motto. And who never expects to become famous? You tell me. I'm also uploading, I'm also biased, I'm also selfish. Now I will start becoming more and more selfish. If I don't find there is no increase in my subscribers count, or if there is no increase in my views after, even after the end of this month, okay, I'll also start concentrating on other aspects than uploading in YouTube. Of course, it depends on everybody's fate. Okay, if I'm very good at my fate, okay, I'm very fortunate enough, I'll become famous. Okay, it's not the question that I'll become famous, or it's not the question that I'll get money from YouTube. Okay, whatever it may be, if I get, I'm very happy. If I don't get, then also I'm happy, because I'm sharing very good knowledge to children. I'm happy for that, right? So let us go into the concept of what? Oxidation numbers. So oxidation number is defined as what? Oxidation number of any element is defined as the apparent charge acquired by an atom. Okay, is called as its oxidation number. The apparent charge. Okay, what is oxidation number? It is defined as the apparent charge acquired by an atom, okay, in a compound or in a ion. The apparent charge acquired by an atom in a compound or in an ion. In a compound or in an ion is called as its oxidation number. Okay, so according to the modern concept, you all know that it is the number of electrons that are either lost or gained or even shared, okay, to acquire stable gas configuration. Okay, that number of electrons that are either lost or gained is also called as what? Oxidation number. Okay, the number of electrons that are lost or gained or shared, okay, is called as what? Oxidation number. This can also be the definition for oxidation number. Okay, so oxidation number is a kind of charge. It can be a positive number and it can be even a negative number. Okay, mostly for highly electronegative elements in periodic table. I think you know what are the highly electronegative elements. You will remember like FonCl. Okay, I'll just ask children always to remember like FonCl. What is that? Fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen and chlorine. Okay, for these 4 elements there is lot much high electronegativity will be there. Okay, they have the tendency to pull electrons towards themselves. Okay, that pulling tendency is called as what? Electronegativity. Okay, so for elements like FonCl, okay, there may be a chance for the oxidation number to be in negative values also. Okay, it is not only for them. I just told you the example. Okay, it can be a positive number or it can be a negative number or it can be even 0 in some cases. Okay, so we have to see the different cases, that they all depends on what? Oxidation number rules. Okay, so rules, let us learn. Rules for oxidation numbers. Rules for oxidation numbers. Okay, in this video I'll just cover only some rules. Okay, I'll just cover only some rules. Okay, I cannot cover up all the rules in one video. I said you that I'll be taking 2 or 3 videos depending on the lecture which I'm keep on giving. Okay, I'll make it into 2 or 3 parts. Okay, so this better you write it as what? Part 1. Okay, oxidation number part 1, the video 1 it is. Okay, so let us go for the rules for oxidation number. So what is the first rule? Rule 1, I'll write here. Rules for oxidation numbers. Rules for oxidation numbers. So what are the different rules? You have to by heart these rules. Okay, apply the rules carefully. Once you understand the rules better, you can apply the rules in different situations. Okay, right. So rule 1. What is rule 1? The sum of oxidation numbers of each and every element present in a given compound is equal to 0. Okay, sum of oxidation numbers. I'll write in short ON. Sum of oxidation number of each and every element in a given compound. Each and every element in a given compound is equal to 0. In a given compound is equal to what? 0. Okay, this is rule 1. That means what? If you add up the oxidation numbers of each and every element present in a given compound, you will be getting 0. Okay, if you get 0, then only if the compound means what? Already acquired stability by sharing, gaining and losing electrons, isn't it? So for a compound, oxidation numbers will be generally 0 only. Okay, so to understand this rule, you need to know the oxidation numbers of at least 1 or 2 elements. Okay, like for example, this is also there in rule 2. Okay, you know oxidation numbers of 1A group elements. For 1A group elements, just remember. Okay, remember to understand this rule 1. Remember, for 1A group elements, oxidation number is +1. For 2A group elements, okay, oxidation number is +2. And for hydrogen, generally for hydrogen, oxidation number is +1. For hydrogen, oxidation number is generally +1. Okay, just use the word generally because there is a rule for hydrogen as well as oxygen also. Generally for hydrogen, oxidation number is +1. Of course, rules are there based on hydrogen and oxygen also. But generally you remember, to understand this rule 1, you just remember that oxidation number of 1A group elements. What are 1A group elements? Hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. 2A group elements are what? What are second A group elements? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. Okay, so for all these elements, for 1A group +1, for 2A group +2. Okay, and also remember that for hydrogen, oxidation number is +1. Okay, generally. Okay, not for all compounds, generally I said, because there is a rule which specifically tells about the oxidation number of hydrogen. Okay, similarly, you just remember generally for oxygen, oxidation number is -2. Okay, generally the oxidation number of oxygen in most of its compounds is -2. If you remember these 4 points, you can understand this rule 1. Okay, so we'll see one example for rule 1. Okay, so what is written there in the rule 1? The sum of oxidation numbers of each and every element in a compound is equal to 0. Okay, so let us take the example of the best and first example. Every time we will be giving most of the cases. First example for oxidation number rule 1 is KMnO4. You all know that this is potassium permanganate. Okay, just have a habit of writing the oxidation numbers of that particular elements. Make a habit of writing them on the top of that element. Okay, here K is there. On the top of K, you will be writing the oxidation numbers. So better I write in a little bit bigger way. Okay, most of the children will copy their notes in a clumsy and in chaos. Okay, it looks like as if it is chaos, but no. Please take some time to write it neatly. Otherwise, your own notes you cannot able to understand. Okay, because all clumsy it will become, and it will become difficult for you to understand your own notes. Okay, let us see first example KMnO4. Okay, so in this K is what? 1A group element. So for 1A group element +1 and oxygen -2. These two only we know. Suppose we don't know the oxidation number of manganese, then we have to keep some number x for that. Okay, for unknown elements keep x, and for the known elements write the oxidation numbers on the top of that element. Okay, so we don't know the oxidation number of manganese, so I am keeping x for manganese. Okay, and we know the oxidation number of oxygen is how much? -2. Okay, so here down no number is written means it is 1 only. So what is according to rule 1? Sum of oxidation numbers of each and every element in a given compound is equal to 0. So here 1 into oxidation number of potassium is +1 plus 1 into oxidation number of manganese we don't know and we kept it as x plus 4 into oxidation number of oxygen is -2 is equal to 0. This is according to rule 1. Sum means addition. Sum of oxidation numbers of each and every element means sum of oxidation number of potassium plus sum of manganese plus oxygen is equal to 0. Here 4 oxygens are there, so I wrote 4 into -2. 4 is the number of oxygens and -2 is the oxidation number of oxygen is equal to 0. So 1 plus x minus 8 is equal to 0. Okay, 1 minus 8 is how much? -7 is equal to 0. So x equal to 7. Therefore, the oxidation number of manganese in KMnO4 is equal to what? +7. Okay, in this way we are going to calculate oxidation numbers according to what? Rule 1. Okay, we'll take one more example. Okay, so we'll take the example of K2SO4. Suppose K2SO4, potassium sulfate. Okay, in that sulfur's oxidation number let us find. Okay, so oxidation number of any unknown element can be found out in this method by keeping x. Okay, let us take the example 2. Find the oxidation number of sulfur in in H2SO4. Okay, in B K2SO4, C SO2, D H2S. Okay, in all these cases if they are asking you to find the oxidation number of sulfur. Okay, so for sulfur you will be keeping X, H2SO4. Hydrogen, I just told you to remember it as what? +1. And sulfurs, let it be X, oxygen -2. So according to rule 1, 2 into +1, 2 into +1 plus 1 into X plus 4 into -2 is equal to 0. So 2 plus X minus 8 is equal to 0. X, 2 minus 8 is minus 6 is equal to 0. That implies X equal to 6. Therefore, oxidation number of sulfur in H2SO4 is equal to +6. Okay, so we'll be doing like this. Okay, in the same way you can be able to do the remaining. Okay, you can just check and give me the value of value of sulfur's oxidation number in B, C and D compounds. Okay, comment me. Right, next we'll go to rule 2. Okay, rule 2. So what is rule 2? So rule 2 tells that oxidation number of any element in its elemental state is equal to 0. Okay, oxidation number of any element in its elemental state. Okay, now in its elemental state is equal to 0. Okay, oxidation number of any element in its elemental state is equal to 0. Elemental state of elemental state means what? For hydrogen, based on its atomicity. Elemental state means, suppose hydrogen is there, it exists like what? H2. Okay, oxygen exists like O2. Okay, even chlorine exists like Cl2. Fluorine exists like F2. Phosphorus exists like P4. Please remember, phosphorus is a tetraatomic element. Okay, its atomicity is what? 4. Okay, and stibbium exists as Sp4. Okay, antimony, right? And ozone exists as O3. Okay, sulfur exists as S8. Okay, so these all are called what? Elemental states of that particular elements. Okay, if it is metals, all are monoatomic. So elemental state of metals will be under monoatomic category only. Okay, so the elemental state, in elemental state, oxidation number of any element is equal to 0. Okay, so this is rule 2. Right, now coming to rule 3. I just told you oxidation numbers of 1A group elements is +1, 2A group elements is +2. Okay, now we'll speak about oxidation numbers of hydrogen. I just told you previously, to understand the example, I just told you that, remember that oxidation number of hydrogen is equal to how much? +1. Okay, now rule 3. Rule 3. Oxidation number of hydrogen. Okay, oxidation number of hydrogen. Please remember, oxidation number of hydrogen. Hydrogen in all its compounds is +1. In all its compounds is equal to how much? +1. Okay, except, please remember this point, except in metal hydrides. Okay, now in metal hydrides, star point, in metal hydrides, the oxidation number of hydrogen is how much? In metal hydrides, the oxidation number of hydrogen, the ON of hydrogen is equal to -1. Okay, please remember this rule as it is. Okay, oxidation number of hydrogen in most of its compounds is equal to +1 only. Okay, but except in what? In metal hydrides, it is not +1. Okay, in metal hydrides it is how much? -1. We'll see the examples. Okay, if you take the example of ammonia, NH3. Okay, hydrogen's oxidation number is +1 only. Nitrogen, you just check the element which is just side of hydrogen. If it is a metal, okay, then you have to write for hydrogen the oxidation number to be -1. If it is just a non-metal, you keep it as +1 only. Okay, here in case of ammonia, oxidation number of hydrogen is +1 only. Okay, here nitrogen is not a metal. how to identify whether a substance is a metal or a non-metal? You just go into my previous video. In the first video of language of chemistry, I told you how to identify whether a given element is a metal or a non-metal. Okay, so nitrogen is a non-metal. So hydrogen's oxidation number +1 only. Okay, nitrogens, if we don't know, we'll keep X. So to find the oxidation number of nitrogen, we will do it as by applying rule 1 into X plus 3 into +1 is equal to 0. That implies X plus 3 is equal to 0. That implies X equal to -3. Therefore, oxidation number of nitrogen, you are getting it to be what? -3. Okay, this is non-metal hydride. Ammonia means what? Non-metal hydride. Okay, non-metal hydride. Ammonia is what? Non-metal hydride. So hydrogen's oxidation number is +1 only in this case. Okay, now we'll take the example of a metal hydride. We'll take the example of what? Metal hydride. Okay, example 2. Okay, NaH, MgH2. Okay, these are what? These are metal hydrides. These are metal hydrides. Okay, so in metal hydrides, please remember, in metal hydrides, the oxidation number of hydrogen, in metal hydrides, the oxidation number of hydrogen is equal to how much? -1. Please remember. So NaH, if you go for, you know that sodium is a 1A group element, so its oxidation number is +1. So automatically oxidation number of hydrogen is -1. This is in first example. You can see NaH, sodium hydride. Okay, NaH is what? Sodium hydride. Okay, similarly MgH2 if you take. Okay, you know that magnesium is a second A group element, +2. Okay, so automatically hydrogen's oxidation number must be -1. So this is what? Magnesium hydride. Okay, so in metal hydrides, please remember, in metal hydrides, the oxidation number of hydrogen is always equal to what? -1. Okay, so we have learnt 3 rules in this video. Okay, we will be learning about oxidation number of oxygen in the next video. Okay, until then, keep understanding the rules carefully, and please try to do as many numericals as possible. Okay, so that your practice will be developed and your speed will be developed. Okay, for all competitive exams, speed is the main criteria. Okay, if you are not if you how much ever good enough if you are in concepts, okay, theoretical concepts, okay, but if you are not quick, if you are not quickly, if you are not responding, then it becomes very difficult for you to face your competitive exams. So please keep doing numericals as much as possible so that your speed will be developed. Okay, so thanks for watching, dear children. Always do hard work. Your hard work is your superpower. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.